Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Okay, today I'm in a new setting. I'm at Mr. D Shivanandhan, the former Commissioner of Police Mumbai's office. And I'm going to discuss a very interesting and a very trending topic with you today. And the topic is about the Jamia Milia CCTV footage. So let's start. There are two footages. Footage number 1 was released by the college, Jamia Milia Islamia. Footage number 2 was released by the police. Now, footage number 1 is showing police walking into the library and beating up the students of Jamia Milia Islamia. Footage number 2, which the police released, shows the students throwing stones at the cops and running into the library with covered faces, getting and sitting in their tables with books almost closed, and there were footages where kids were putting in benches to ensure that the police does not come in to the library. And there was also a footage where there was a boy with a stone in his hand, which was later on proven by Alt News that it was not a stone that he was carrying, it was his wallet. So the police says that these were the same miscreants who were throwing stones at us, who were burning down buses, who came running into the library. So we followed them inside the library, and we wanted to arrest them. We wanted to ensure that they don't destroy any more life or property. Now this is where the debate stands. India is divided into half. A certain section of our country says what the police did was atrocious. What the police did was illegal. The other bunch says that, listen, you know what, they're cops. It's their job to serve and protect, and they were doing their jobs. So they came into the library to ensure that they protect others from getting hurt, they protect property, and that's exactly what they did, for which they had to, if they had to use force, so be it. Okay, now what we are going to do is talk to one of the most celebrated police officers of recent times, and that is D Shivanandhan, who was the Commissioner of Police Mumbai, the Director General of Police Maharashtra. We will talk to him and figure out the police perspective. Let's get right into the show. We saw the video in detail. There is the cop video which shows these boys throwing stones at them, running into the library, trying to obstruct the cops from coming into the library. Some of them were wearing masks. There was also a footage where this boy was carrying a stone, which was later on found that was not a stone they were carrying. He was carrying his wallet. There is a second footage where we saw these kids sitting and studying. Yes, the books were closed, some of them. But some of them genuinely seemed to be students who were reading in the library. The cops come and beats them up mercilessly. Sir, question number 1. The cops lied for starters, because the first thing they said was they never entered the library, and that is why this video war. Sir, how fair is that?
I would like to say on record that this is not the end of the video war, and this is not the flood of releasing of various videos has not stopped yet. Further, more videos are likely to come to prove or disprove one side or the other. So our discussion is only limited to as many videos as you have seen as of now. So facts are going to change. Earlier police said we didn't enter, now police says that we entered. Then all that kind of a thing is there. So furthermore facts are going to change. Assuming that, I would say they are not kids, they are grown-ups, they are voting rights, they have got a right to age of marriageable age they are, and they are not kids as you say. Second is, don't discuss only the library incident. Before that, outside on the road, the buses were burnt, kids burnt it, or some hooligans burnt it, or anybody else burnt it. For entertainment, you could say even the police burnt it. That theory also can come by somebody. Whoever burnt it, they burnt it. Then, as per this video released by the police, there was a stone throwing by the students. And then the police entered the place. They entered the library as a hot pursuit. In the same videos which you have seen, you see students coming rushing inside with the masks, and then they are closing the door, etc., etc. That means they hastily entered the library as a shelter or as an asylum. The police came behind them on a hot pursuit. And earlier incident is burning of the bus and throwing of the stones, and the police were dealing with the stone throwing mob, as they call. You are calling them kids, I call them as a mob. Any unlawful assembly consists of 4 or 5 people, and this has been prohibited by the Delhi police in the Delhi area. And then whatever activity they do is an unlawful assembly and unlawful activity. As part of that, whether it is a university or whether it is a temple or a church or any such place, police is duty bound to go and prevent the loss of lives or loss of property or occurrence of a crime. So this is what exactly happened.
If these students were political workers of a party, of a political party, let us for the time being assume that you are talking about a ruling party and they were political workers of the ruling party. There are enough and more occasions where the ruling party and the political parties have created a lot of ruckus on the road. Sir, my question is, would the police walk into a BJP head office and whack the political workers who has created this ruckus on the street? Would the police do it?
You know, normally it may not be no, but I can cite 10 incidents or more than that where a ruling party MLA has been beaten up black and blue because he crossed the Lakshman Rekha. And when the BJP or the ruling party or anybody who indulges in large-scale violence of arson and stone throwing, policemen getting hurt, injuries all over the body, head injuries, etc., etc., whether it is the ruling party or anybody party, anyone, police is bound to do the same thing. So there is a limit to which, okay, what you say, I agree, to limit which. You know, it is the job of the ruling party or the officials, the minister or anyone to tell the police to take it easy. And it is the job of the police leader to tell the police force that I take care of you. Anything going there, you save your own life. And listen to me. And the policeman on the spot is supposed to take the most legal action. And Section 100 of the Indian Penal Code gives him all the right to protect his life, his property and the other's life and the other's property. There the party direction can be disobeyed 100%, nothing will happen to the police officer. Maximum he can be transferred. Transfers are happening every day.
Are you saying what happened in Jamia Milia Islamia was absolutely legal?
It is absolutely legal because the police have registered an offence and the police have been investigating, and you can appoint any number of commissions of enquiry and they will come to a conclusion saying that in the sequence of events as it has happened, collecting all the evidence, they will come to a conclusion as to what has gone right or what has gone wrong. So as on now, whatever videos, 7 video clippings I have seen, and as per that, what police did is legal and right.
If a student, an innocent student who was genuinely sitting there and studying, if that student is being hit, would that be right, sir?
It is part of the dealing of a mob where people have come and taken shelter there and they are wearing masks, and then you are part of the crowd, and the police in a hurry, hot pursuit when they have come. Their entry has been blocked and everything has happened there. So in the part of that, if an innocent person has been hurt, I feel sorry about it, but you can't call it illegal.
Sir, those kids inside, now it is proven that they didn't even have a stone inside. So was it necessary for the police to come in and beat those people up, those students up?
It is, you can't dissect the chain of events which happened. Burning of the bus, throwing stones, they coming inside and the police coming and then trying to arrest them or evict them. In that thing, they had given the...
So let's go back to the chronology of events.
Yes.
Burning of the, assuming that they burned the bus.
Yes.
Let's assume
they burned the bus. They're on record.
Burning of the bus. They come in. Okay. So the police comes in, not arrest them, but beat them up.
You know,
so which means the police said technically,
if you see carefully, lots of girls are there in the front line and they are all asked to go away. Only those boys who are behind are given one kind of a lathi.
More than one, sir, but I will say, which means the police there was not acting to enforce law, they were giving justice. They were being vigilante by beating up those people because they were offering justice to.
No, there is no question of any constable of the CRPC doing any justice there. This is a part of a chain of events where the policeman came and took action against the lawbreakers, and there is no justice trial or anything like that.
Sir,
this is part of an event.
Shouldn't this action be arresting the people in boys?
No, you are not supposed to arrest them because you don't know in a crowd where you said some boy, innocent boy was studying there. How does he has to see the CCTV camera, he has to identify, unmask the people and then arrest. Now arrest after investigation is possible, but not in the heat of the moment.
Correct. Heat of the moment, he beat him. But he didn't arrest him.
Beating is part of the exercise where you had beaten them. The so-called kids had thrown stones on the police. They have suffered injuries. The buses were burnt either by the kids or by somebody else. This is part of it. I do not agree to your theory that these are kids and they needed to be treated with kid gloves.
No, I am not asking anybody to treat anybody as kids or kid gloves.
Yeah.
My question is, does that give police the liberty to take law in their own hands? Sir,
the law says while effecting arrest or while discharging their duty or while dispersing a crowd or a mob or an unlawful assembly, the police can exercise, they can use the minimum force which is required or reasonable amount of force, not the minimum force, reasonable amount of force for effecting an arrest or discharging their duty or dispersing a mob. That is as per law.
Correct. Sir, but the force that we are seeing in the screen at the moment, is this reasonable, sir? I mean,
this is in the heat of the moment, as you rightly said, the students were agitated completely. They were indulging in whatever kiddish activities they were allowed to do. But the police were deployed for long enough time, they lost their nerves. And then they are pelted stones with by these people. They were injured, they were hot, and they lost. I don't know how many hours before they had their food. So with all these things, a policeman also is highly charged. And then these guys were also charged, then this kind of a thing happens.
Does that justify beating?
No, it is not. Legally it is justified. I am not saying his emotions or frustration or fright is justifying the beating. The beating is by the law, and whatever the policeman does as a part of a hot pursuit, the law says that they can use reasonable force. How much is reasonable, whether this was unreasonable or not, a judicial inquiry would say. And there is a case registered, my dear sir, the case is registered, police will charge sheet the case identifying these people, then it can be proved that how many students are admitted in the hospital, tell me, because of this behavior of the police. Are they admitted in the hospital? Have they been bleeding? Are there injuries? No, nothing like that. 2 months have gone. There is no such report that the children, the so-called kids, have been admitted in the hospital because of the police lathi charge. The police did use the force which is legal and right.
You spoke about how many kids were admitted in the hospital.
Yeah.
Now I talked to you about JNU.
Yeah.
There were 20 kids admitted in the hospital.
Yeah.
There were 8 kids who were pretty serious, I am told.
Yeah.
My figures could be wrong, but all the same.
Correct.
Okay, but kids were definitely admitted in the hospital.
Yes.
Sir, the police has not registered one single case and it is more than a month.
No,
the same thing happened in Uttar Pradesh,
Yeah.
where there were police beatings. Police beat people mercilessly.
Correct.
Lot of things were being spoken about.
Correct.
It was very clear that the police were functioning
Correct.
as not as a
Correct.
as a organized,
Correct.
disciplined police force,
Correct.
but as a nationalist some kind of a mission.
Agreed.
Sir, doesn't all this lead to the thinking that this is not just a police action, this is a politically motivated action?
No, in that Jamia Milia, about which the videos have been released, is a separate thing about which I have given a justification. If you are talking of JNU, where mass scale violence from that side and this side and the police and all that happened, that's a separate story altogether. If the police have beaten up and the children have been admitted, let us register a case against the police. You said, no, I can't register the police, but you can file a private case against the police in this judicial courts, and the courts can investigate and punish the policeman.
But
or
sir,
you can ask for, you can, you know what, the
in-
court
in
is
ja-
different
in-
from the government.
No, sir, correct. Sir, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So
The court is
nobody,
different from the
nobody
government.
of you have filed a case against the police in JNU violence or Uttar Pradesh violence or anywhere. 156(3) section can be used by you for filing against cases, and the courts can investigate and file charge sheet against the policemen and punish them. As on today, as I know, punishing the police is the easiest job for the senior officers of the police, the government, the judiciary, and the parliamentarians. It's the easiest thing for the police.
Sir, after seeing what happened in Uttar Pradesh, after seeing what happened in JNU, after seeing what happened in Jamia Milia, I'm not connecting these. I'm just saying chronology of events, one after another. After seeing all this, is there a credibility issue with the police? Much more than it was ever in the last 70 years.
In the last 70 years, things have deteriorated in all walks of life, and things have changed. The politicians, their qualities, the policemen, their various things, and also various other walks of life also have slight. The morals, the values, everything has changed. In that, if we say, the police was never the darling of the masses, even during independence, pre-independence, later and all that. But the police credibility, if it was little above, it has come down now because of the various happenings. But in my opinion, police image can be improved a lot, and it is deteriorated. Again, I want to say, to reiterate my point, whatever the police role, when the man took out his gun and was branding the policeman, folding his hands and standing, is not done. If I were there, I would not have done that. Handling of those masked people coming, that incident I am talking about.
Correct.
That again, if the police people have been seen as only standing there, negligence of duty, you can take action against them. Or if the policemen have indulged in mass scale violence, you can file a private case against them if people are admitted and they are seriously injured. Those things are separate. This video war which we are talking about is separately has to be dealt with. This can be justified. I am not justifying the JNU and various other incidents. If students are injured and they are admitted in the hospital, that could be overdoing on the part of them.
The point that I would like to raise here is when police does not act in JNU, is when police acts the way it did in Uttar Pradesh, then the fact remains that every action of police then is questioned. Because that is the time when an ordinary citizen of India starts wondering who the police is working for the citizen or for the government. Till we meet next time, Namaskar.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.